1 minute. $30. 20. 15. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Good evening and welcome to TD Station. We are moments away from opening action between the visiting Charlottetown Islanders and your home team, St. John Sea Dogs. Officials on the ice, along with both teams. The Sea Dogs being introduced. This is Bruce Smith, along with our color analyst, Joe Smith. And we are pleased to be able to bring you this broadcast from St. John, New Brunswick against two very good hockey teams. Joe, welcome to the broadcast once more. Appreciate you making yourself available.
Happy to be here. Looking forward to it.
Yes, indeed. And, of course, these two teams saw each other 7 days ago in Charlottetown. And it was a clash of two teams that are pointed in the right direction. Sea Dogs coming up with a road victory in Charlottetown, something that they have not had much success in. This is the 7th time these two teams have met this season. Sea Dogs record 2 wins and 4 losses, but also recognizing that a number of those losses took place prior to Christmas, and they are two different looking teams. Sea Dogs loading up, but also the Islanders making some additions as well to improve their roster. And that victory for St. John Friday night in Charlottetown, that 2-1 victory, that was a real good battle between two teams that will likely see one another into the playoffs, and who knows, maybe here at the Memorial Cup. We'll have to wait and see. The scene before us, Sea Dogs are defending the goal to our left, and in goal will be Nikola Urquebis. His record 17-13, 2-1, a 3.15 goals against and a .898 save percentage. And at the other end to our right, Charlottetown Islanders in goal. Francisco LaPena, 15-8, 5-1, 2.58 goals against and a .911 save percentage. The Islanders in dominant black, trimmed with gold and white. And the St. John Sea Dogs in white, trimmed with black and blue. So we waiting for the 7th player, and had an opportunity to go down and chat with Jim Holden prior to the start of this one, and he was saying that they are dealing with some injuries and a very busy, compressed schedule. The Islanders in action last night in Charlottetown, facing the Moncton Wildcats, and Islanders dominating in that one 5-0. But it is a lot to ask as they get onto the bus this morning to make their way here to TD Station this afternoon. Fans expressing appreciation for the 7th player, or the 6th player. I think it's the 7th player, Joe, that comes out.
I think that's right, 7th, yes.
So being led out by Vincent Despont, the Swiss native, who is seeing a little more action as Jan Kuznetsov continues to be out of the lineup. And Despont will start this evening, paired up with William Poirier. Jeremy Poirier, now the national anthem. national anthem. There's something about the national anthem being sung by a bass voice in a tuxedo. Very, very powerful, and a real good crowd here tonight, Joe, for a Friday night on a beautiful day in St. John. With folk beginning to make their way back to TD Station with the restrictions being lifted.
Yeah, exciting to see. It changes the atmosphere so much from when we started with the season and different restrictions. It feels, dare I say, normal again.
Feels very much normal, and of course, folk opting to wear masks, but numbers that do not, and the coaching staff mask-free, and I'm sure Gordy Dwyer and company are delighted, as long as Jim Halton as well. I'm not sure if that's the case in Charlottetown, as a different province, different restrictions, but the benches are mask-free, and it does feel exactly like we have returned to life as we knew it pre-pandemic. Lawrence is at center, and he'll go up against Budgell. The clock has been reset. The referee, Josh McCormick, Tyler Putterfoot, Mike McDonnell, Brett Boyce, and we are underway at TD Station. Puck dumped in deep, Charlottetown territory. Budgell knocks it out to center ice. Along the far side boards, Gallant will send the puck in deep. Urtubise out of his goal, knocks it down, and then it's the rush pin with Elliott behind the Sea Dog goal. Puck is work free. Budgell comes up. Correct that, it's Gallant to the point. Cormier's shot, that's wide out the other side. Wraparound attempt, that's off the boards. At the line, shot, and that blasts wide. Kept in by Lowen. It's chopped at the blue line and out. Lowen has to backpedal all the way to his center ice. It's flipped in deep, Sea Dog territory. Poirier under pressure goes up the near boards to DeRoche. His long lead past the center. It's left by Trenholm to Daoud. Here comes Daoud breaking through, and then puck rolls off his stick to the far corner. In comes Trenholm to help out. Plandowski against Daoud. Along the boards, they work at each other. It's sent in behind the Islander goal. Trenholm battles along the boards with Trudeau. Trudeau loses the puck. Trenholm comes up with it, throws it in front, and it's just off the stick of Daoud and wide. Plandowski, far corner, finds his outlet man in front of the goal, and it's off the center ice and dumped in on Urtubise, and he plays it. Villeneuve reverses it to Sevigny near corner. Sea Dog territory. Up the boards, kept in by Stairs, the former Sea Dog, to the far corner. Villeneuve will get to it first. It rolls out to center ice, knocked down at the center ice line, and fired in by Biakabuka. In behind the Sea Dog goal. Villeneuve once more. Villeneuve to his own blue line. It's banked and down into Islander territory. In after it. Horth gets hammered along the boards. Fans react to that. Puck is once more to center ice. Ansons retrieves. Back to DeRoche. Lead pass. It's off the stick of Bizot in behind the Islander goal. Bizot gets to it first. Around the back of the goal. Up to the point. Cross ice. DeRoche looking. Fires it. That's wide of the net. Out the other side. At the line. Drapeau can't hold it in, but it's DeRoche who comes up with it. Banks it off the boards at center. Ansons in front of the penalty boxes. He's pinned. Retrieved by Drapeau. He banks it to Chandler. Chandler goes back to DeRoche, who's into Sea Dog territory, to his defensive partner, Drapeau. Lead pass. Chandler will relay it deep in behind the Islander goal. It's reversed to the far side. McQuaid for the Islanders, to center. McQuaid steps over center, lifts it in to the far corner. In after it. Despont goes up the boards to Sevigny, and it's out to center ice. Picard with Lassard. Lassard over. A shot off the shoulder in the air. It bounces around. Still loose in front. And it's cleared to the line and out. Sevigny couldn't keep it in. And it's knocked down. And the play is blown down. And a couple things to note there, Joe. Marshall Lassard, his first shift. And it's been a long time since he's seen action for the Sea Dogs.
Welcome back, indeed. Nice to see him in the lineup finally, feeling healthy enough to get back in there. And not surprisingly, two of the best teams in the Maritime Division. It's been quite a pace in the first 3 minutes.
A good start, and we anticipated this would be a nice matchup, and it was a dandy 7 nights ago in Charlottetown. And these two teams back against one another. Puck is at center ice, in over the line. Gallant can't get it in deep. That's picked off by Poirier. He goes cross ice to DeRoche near corner Sea Dog territory. Out to center. Here comes Dufour. His pass in behind his man, and it's Gallant back the other way for the Islanders. In over the line. Gallant slides it through. It's in behind the Sea Dog goal. Lawrence into the near corner. Back up to the point, kept in at the line. Elliott for the Islanders. Stick check. Puck sent out to center ice. And back after it is Lowen. Lowen to Budgel, the captain for the Islanders. Loses the puck, and it's knocked out to center ice. Skating into it is Dufour. In over the line. High slot. Dufour's shot. And LaPena gathers that into his midsection. And then we have Lowen and Dufour with a little push and shove, and that's the end of that. Well, mentioning Brett Budgel, the captain for the Charlottetown Islanders, well, we have a captain for the St. John Sea Dogs. Vincent Sevigny was named yesterday the captain of St. John. And Joe and I will have a chance to chat a little bit about the selection of the captains. We've waited a long time. Last Sea Dog captain was Nicholas Gay. Playback underway. Villeneuve in his own zone. His lead pass to center. Trenholm with a burst of speed over the line. He's ridden out of the play by Plandowski. Puck behind the Islander goal. It's off the board. Stairs under pressure with Daou. Stairs flips it in the air to center. It's turned back, and Trenholm will fire the puck in behind the Charlottetown goal. Daou along the boards. Daou, he's pinned, worked free. Trudeau back to Plandowski. Plandowski to his own blue line for Charlottetown. He'll flip it in near corner, Sea Dog territory. Villeneuve gets to it. He goes cross ice to Sevigny, the captain for St. John. Vincent Sevigny over center, fires it in deep into the near corner, and then reverse up the wards. Bizot gets to it first. He'll flip it across ice to McDonald. It bounces in the blue paint and then knocked away into the near corner. Up the boards, Horth. He's hammered by Bizot. Fans react to that. And then Bizot and Say mix it up. In over the line, here comes Ansons. Off a stick in behind the Charlottetown goal. Maynard bounces it in behind the net. Biakabukuka up the wards to center. Horth just sidesteps the check, and then Lassard gets a high stick in the face in his second shift back. In the center, Chandler sends it in deep. LaPena out of the Charlottetown goal, goes up the far boards. It's reversed and in behind the Islander goal to center. Bonus. He's hit at center by Despont. Fans like that. Lassard in the near corner. He goes up the boards to Chandler. Chandler long lead pass to Villeneuve, and it's in behind and sent back the other way. Shot on goal, and they're going to blow it down. There should have been a delayed offside on that play. I'm not sure where that faceoff will end up, but I think it's going to end up in Sea Dog territory.
Always interesting when you have two teams that just score in bunches, but also have solid goaltending, and you got to wonder whose offense is going to be able to break out or not. Obviously, last game only 3 goals scored in the whole game, so both were able to be neutralized to a certain extent. Just interesting to see what's going to happen this evening.
Lawrence will take the draw against Budgel. They'll see a lot of each other tonight. 2 key face-off men for both teams. Face-off to the left of Urtubise. Lawrence wins it back. Desroches around his own goal to 4. Back up to Poirier. It's out to center ice. Budgel will skate into it, and he falls in his own zone along the boards. Here comes Burns. He picks it up behind the goal. Burns with a move. Burns on the back end. Oh, where did it go? It went in behind. Another shot from Dufour and a save by LaPena. I'm not sure if it hit the post in behind on the backhand. That was Burns. Lawrence keeps it in. Poirier down the wall. Here comes Poirier around the back of the net. He puts it out in front. And then LaPena is knocked to the ice, and it's Dufour and Budgel giving it to one another in front of the net. Play still underway. Puck is back into the Sea Dog zone. Desroches. Up ice to Poirier to center. Poirier in over the blue line. He's checked. And back come the Islanders. And now Stairs touches up. It's ruled, I believe, a glove pass, and that'll bring the stoppage in play, and the shovels are out.
What a great opportunity for Brady Burns. Cut to the net on the back end. It looked like it was a bit of a changeup. I don't know if he flubbed it or not, but it certainly threw everyone off, including LaPena. Looked like it went under him and just kind of sat behind him in the crease before it was able to be cleared.
Well, we've seen Brady Burns score goals. We know he can score goals. We've also learned this season that he knows a thing or two about setting up his line mates, as William Dufour. Lots of conversation about Dufour, and of course having a tremendous season, 42 goals on the year, leading the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League in goals. But Brady Burns has been a setup man for Dufour, and he sees the ice very well. And I can count, I think, on one hand, Joe, the number of times I've seen Brady Burns fire a backhand shot. You don't see many backhands anymore, and as you pointed out, it seemed to be a change-up on LaPenna. Got in behind him. I don't know what it hit. I don't know if there was a Islander player that got a stick on it behind the goaltender, or whether it went off the post and back out. Faceoff will come to the right of LaPenna in goal for the Islanders. Now, in behind the Charlottetown goal. Stairs. Long lead past the center. Hits his man. That's Gay. Gay against Sevigny. Sevigny comes up with the puck in the Sea Dog zone, and it's out to center ice. Here comes Trenholm. In over the line. Trenholm still controlling. Takes it wide. Puts it through, and Francis going to the front of the net. Just couldn't get a stick on it. Daou up the boards. He's checked. Now Gay. Patrick Gay. Leading goal scorer for the Islanders. Long lead past the center ice. In over the line. Gay drops it off for Stairs. Here comes Stairs. Shot. The save, and it's batted away by Villeneuve as it went off Urtuby's shoulder and then cleared by the glove of Villeneuve. Up the center ice. Here comes Daou. He'll fire it in deep and head off for a line change. Into the near corner. LeBlanc battles along the boards with Anson. It's work free. Horth to center ice for Charlottetown. He'll slide it in deep. In behind Urtuby's. Drapeau reverses near corner. Poirier up the boards to Bizot. His pass picked off. Here comes Say walking in. Where is it? It went through the other side. Puck is flipped in the air to the line, kept in by Cormier. Near corner. Poirier pins his man. Horth. Now Say, and then he's stripped of the puck. Poirier. Far side. Drapeau. Long lead past the center. Here comes McDonald with a burst of speed. Drops it to Bizot. Bizot fires it wide. Drapeau keeps it in. That's off a shin pad at the line, and Poirier cannot hold it in. Back to center. And then he'll clear it, goes off a stick, up and out of play. We are looking at 11:37 left in this opening period. We are still scoreless.
Well, Owen Say with a great opportunity down in St. John's End. Brought it to the net, cutting through the crease, and just lost the handle with a lot of obstruction going on. He wasn't able to hang on to it, thankfully for Sea Dog fans.
The faceoff is coming at center ice. And it's going to be Jarrett Todd against Chandler. Chandler in their skates still lies loose. Plandowski will skate into it, fire it in behind the Sea Dog goal, near corner, along the boards. Battle in tight, in traffic. Despont comes up with it, and he's hit along the boards. Puck still in his skates. In comes Lassard to work it free, and it's back to Sevigny behind his own goal. Sevigny will flip it in the air, knock down at center ice. Puck lies loose, and we've got a glove pass. And we're losing a bit of the flow of this one. Now Picard and who's that? That's Matt McQuaid. Mix it up. And the referees come over and go, okay, let's knock it off. We don't want to call a penalty right at the moment.
Not sure if Matt McQuaid was tasked with this or not, but he seemed to be first a couple, we would call them maybe mild to moderate cross checks on Picard on the faceoff, and not sure if he was testing out a willing dance partner or not, but he's certainly looking to agitate.
Well, as we mentioned, this is the 7th time these two teams have met, so they're starting to get pretty familiar with one another. Two Maritime Division teams. Puck is fired into the far corner. Lies loose to four. Back to Poirier. Burns on the sideboards. Puts it through. It's off a stick. Knocked down in front, and back come the Islanders to center. Elliott takes it wide. He'll chip it in deep and go after it himself and get to it. Around the back of the goal, and he's stick checked by Poirier. Poirier slides it over to DeRoche, near corner. DeRoche flips it in the air out to center ice, and Burns will skate into it, leaves it for Lawrence. Lawrence will slide it in deep, in behind the goal. Biakabuka knocks down or falls down himself. It fed out in front. Dufour back to the point. DeRoche looking, puts it into the slot. We've got our first penalty of the hockey game, and it looks like it's going to be a high stick going to the Charlottetown Islanders. And who is it? It's Gallant. The Irving Oil power play. The first time tonight for St. John. We'll go to work. Joe, some pretty decent numbers for that power play.
Both teams with an excellent power play. The only concern is they're going to be facing the #1 penalty kill in the league in Charlottetown. So, again, similar to the high offense and strong goaltending, it'll be interesting to see.
Francis will take the draw. He's got Daou and Burns at the points, Lessard and Villeneuve. Lessard gets it over to Villeneuve. Down to Daou. Daou controlling. Back to the point. Villeneuve over to Lessard. Tries to put it through on the high tip. Francis just missed it. Now Daou, and he is out to center ice, forced out. And then he decides to turn it back into Sea Dog territory. Francis to center, in over the blue line. Francis puts the brakes on, looks for support, doesn't find it, and out to center ice. Here comes Gay walking in and wide, falls to the ice, and still controls it. Gay back all the way into his own zone. Cormier retreats to the Charlottetown end, and they just burn up seconds. Now Lowen will fire it in behind the Sea Dog goal. Elliott will get to it first. Sea Dogs right now struggling to come up with the puck. As you pointed out, Joe, the Islanders' best penalty kill in the league. They've got 10 shorthanded goals, but so do the Sea Dogs. Up the boards, Dufour works it free, back to Poirier at the point. Cross ice pass to Ansons. He puts it down to Lawrence, back up high. Poirier to Dufour. Dufour's shot, that goes sailing over top of the net. Elliott will get to it first, and he'll send it the length of the ice. And I confess, Joe, I missed the fact that's a double minor that Kieran Gallant was assessed, so the Sea Dogs have some time still to work with. Dufour in over the line. Lawrence leaves it for Ansons. He goes back to Poirier, and that's a lazy pass back, and here's a foot race in over the line. That's Horth on the other side, and he's stripped of the puck by Ansons, and he gets the center. Then he trips over a phantom stick, and it's out the center. Gay one-on-one with Poirier in over the line. Gay still with the puck. Couple moves. Then he puts it through behind Urtubise. And Urtubise says, I'm going to slow things down. As Patrick Gay one-on-one with Poirier, and a real nice move to get the puck to the goal, and he squeaked it in behind Urtubise and the post, and it went right through the crease.
Yeah, tough look for the Sea Dogs power play early. Feel for Ravis Hanson's just not a great shift with the passing, the toe pick. It's just hit refresh.
Burns gets the puck in behind the goal. Villeneuve around the back of his own net, and then he drops it back to Daou. Daou to his own blue line to center. Here comes Philippe Daou. Leaves it for Burns. Burns back to Villeneuve. High slot. Villeneuve still looking. Shot. That's up and over top of the net. Far corner. It's rimmed around the boards and down the ice, and you can see why this Islander penalty kill is #1 in the league. They are tough to play against, even with your extra attacker. Villeneuve to Daou in over the line. Burns will push it into the far corner. Daou rims it around the boards to Lessard. He'll put it down low to Francis. Goes off his stick in behind the net. Burns ties up. Francis comes in to help out. It's still along the boards. 1:15 left in the Sea Dog power play. And now out to center ice comes Lowen, and he'll slide it down in behind the Sea Dog goal. Biakabuka comes up with the puck. He walks out. Shot saved by Urtubise. That's a shorthanded chance. Now out to center ice. Correct that. That's Rabinich. And then in over the line, here comes Ansons. He finds Dufour. Dufour's shot. That's off the blocker of LaPena. In behind the goal. It's chopped around the boards. Lawrence will get to it first with 40 seconds in the power play. Lawrence back up to McDonald. Back down to Lawrence. Cross ice to Dufour. Jumps over his stick. Still bouncing, and it's cleared the length of the ice. And the Islanders keep burning up clock. In behind the Sea Dog goal. Poirier to center ice. Poirier drops it back to Dufour. Dufour skates it in over the line. Leaves it for Bizot. Back down to Dufour. He puts it out in front, and it's picked off, and back come the Islanders. One-on-one. Here comes Elliott with a burst of speed. Elliott, the save by Urtubise. And Elliott gives Urtubise an extra whack. And the referee goes over and says, don't do that. And that's all it'll be.
Yeah, baseball swing to the pads. Yeah, anyway.
Well, there's a lot of sort of edgy play taking place. A couple whacks to the back of the leg as guys are heading to the bench, and there's no love lost between these two teams. And as I said, they've been seeing a fair bit of one another, and they respect the fact that both teams are highly competitive. Sea Dogs riding a 7-game winning streak. That's the hottest team in the QMJHL. Play underway. Puck in Sea Dog territory. Now the garage is flattened by Todd. Bizo comes up with the loose puck. He'll put it back to Drapeau. He goes up the boards, and Trenholm gets it to center ice. Todd, he's bodied by Bizo. Puck knocked free, and it's back into Charlottetown territory. Lead pass to center. Teams are back to even strength. Todd in over the line, puts the brakes on, slides it through. Urtubise steers to the far corner. And then Bizo and McQuaid mix it up. And it is going to be Bizo with an interference penalty as McQuaid was near the puck, but he didn't have possession of the puck. Bizo headed off to the penalty box. Interference is the call. Well, the Sea Dogs Moosehead Light penalty kill will have to go into production against the Charlottetown Islanders power play.
I mean, it's the right call. Bizo taking McQuaid out without the puck. McQuaid's got to be careful, though, because he came right back after the whistle to Bizo. Lucky it wasn't coincidentals.
Well, it's very evident. We've only, well, there's 5:52 remaining in this first period, but it's very evident there's a lot of emotion that's flowing between these two teams right now. In a conversation with Jim Holton before the game, talking about the schedule and the fatigue factor that their team is having to deal with, but to his point, every team is dealing with it. With the condensed schedule, with the makeup games, with the lengthy Christmas break, all of a sudden you've got teams playing multiple games in very short periods of time, and with some also interesting travel plans that go with it as you try to wedge games in to an existing schedule. I don't envy the scheduler, but all teams right now are very busy in the QMJHL. Play back underway. Puck is knocked to Ansons, and he'll wrist it the length of the ice. The one hop, and LaPena had to be careful there. A little ooh and ah as he played it off the hop. Budgel for the Islanders. He goes back to Lowen, to Brabinich, to center ice. Brabinich turned back by Lawrence. Here comes Lawrence with a burst of speed. Lawrence still in it. Here comes Lawrence shorthanded, backhand to LaPena, and the Sea Dog penalty kill buzzing. Gay puts the brakes on, hits Cormier, the late man. He's in over the line, feeds it over on the sideboards. Puck is knocked free, kept in by Cormier. Backhands it up the boards. Brabinich leaves it for Cormier at the point. Back to Lowen. He goes to the far side. Gay, Lowen, shot. That's off the blocker. Bashed away by Urtubise. Cormier cross ice to Gay. Jumps over his stick. And a nice stick check by Sevigny to knock the puck to center ice. 52 seconds left in the Charlottetown man advantage. Up the near side boards in Sea Dog territory. A scrum along the boards. Still in the skates. Dow in along with Chantler. Brabinich trying to work it free, and then they're going to blow it down. And now we get that mandatory gloves in the face, pushing and shoving. And this is my least favorite part of the game, Joe, because you just never know how the referee will interpret. That you end up coming out of that mess with a power play, or looks like nothing is going to come out of this.
Well, you wonder what the conversation is if it gets to a point where every whistle this is happening, eventually you're just going to pull somebody. And that's usually the case, and usually with those penalties it costs dearly.
Well, and with the emotions running so high, it's almost inevitable that there's going to be something goofy take place with that sort of behavior going on. Lawrence will take the draw against Elliott. Draw one back to Trudeau at the point. Trudeau to Stairs. He puts it down low. Cross ice pass. And Elliott was wide open. Now the shot through traffic. A nice job by Urtubise to snap it into his glove and hang on with 24 seconds left. And some good puck movement by the Islander power play. It's going to be McDonald in the faceoff against Todd. Draw one back. Trudeau keeps it in. Far side. Back up to Trudeau. Shot. That's deflected just wide of the net. Horth. He's stick checked. Knocked into the near corner. And Picard will bank it off the boards at the length of the ice with 8 seconds left. Trudeau around the back of his goal. McDonald pressuring on the forecheck. Puck back to center ice. Horth in over the line. Here comes Elliott with a burst of speed. Elliott tries to jam it short side, and Urtubise holds his post. Bizot flips it high in the air. The center, the Sea Dogs have been successful in killing off the Islander power play. Puck in behind the Charlottetown goal. Picard against Trudeau. Trudeau comes up with the puck, banks it off the boards. Knocked down by Poirier at center, and in over the line. Here comes Daou with a burst. Shot, save, and that's steered away, and then Lassard is knocked to the ice. Fans looking for a call. And then out to center ice. Daou clears it to the far side. Puck bouncing in the neutral zone. Still in play. LeBlanc stripped by Poirier, and then back comes Lassard. In over the line. He finds Daou. Turns it back. Sends it in behind the Charlottetown goal to Francis. Francis spins off the check to Lassard. Up the boards. He's pinned along the boards. Daou works it free. Back up high. Daou flips it over to the rush. The shot into the midsection of LaPena with Lassard hunting for a rebound, but there was none. 2:51 remains in this opening period. No score. And really, Joe, it appears to be a repeat of the game in Charlottetown 7 nights ago, where both teams who can score goals in bunches, but all of a sudden they are very defensive-minded. Now we're getting an announcement. Tyler Jay, the equipment trainer for the St. John Sea Dogs, just back from China from the Paralympics. He was a trainer with Canada's sledge hockey team. And talking to him before the game about the jet lag. Now, DeRoche, high slot. He goes back door, and Dufour couldn't pull the trigger. Burns back behind the goal to Lawrence. Lawrence leaves it for Dufour, and he hit the back door, and it rolled off his stick as LaPena was looking the wrong way to center ice. In over the line, Cormier, he loses the puck. DeRoche banks off the boards, and it's Dufour. Here comes Dufour one-on-one. Dufour shot saved by LaPena as he was about 5 feet off the top of his crease and wasn't taking any chances. Cross ice, Burns chops it down in behind the Charlottetown goal. Lowen under pressure from Dufour to Cormier. His pass behind his man, and Gallant, his pass picked off, and then at the line, McDonald levels him to center. Here comes Budgel, stick check as Anson picked his pocket. Now the loose puck, and it's just beyond the reach of Dufour, who couldn't get to it, into the Charlottetown zone. Lowen hit by McDonald. Now the clearing attempt picked off by Ansons. He drops it back. The shot, Sevigny rebound, and then McDonald is chopped to the ice, and Lowen can't believe he's getting a penalty. Noah Lowen chops down Cam McDonald, the Tampa Bay Lightning prospect and Summerside PEI native, so he gets lots of attention with the Islanders. Certainly, he'd have lots of family out for the game in Charlottetown. Not sure how many would make the trip over here, but Cam McDonald putting some good pressure on. So the Sea Dog Irving Oil power play once more in action. Francis loses the draw. It's cleared to the length of the ice by Trudeau. And Urtubise will set behind the Sea Dog goal. Villeneuve will get to it. Francis, Daou, Burns, and Villeneuve. Francis to center ice. Here comes Francis. In over the line, finds the stick of Daou, drops it back to Burns. Burns back to Villeneuve. Villeneuve. And it's off a skate to center ice. Gay putting pressure on Villeneuve. Leaves it for Francis. Francis circles back into his own zone. To center. Francis in over the line, still with it. Francis tries to slide it through, and it's off a Charlottetown skate and the length of the ice. We're down to less than a minute in the period. So the Sea Dogs will end the period on the power play, and very brief to start the second, unless they score, and now they're offside at the blue line. We're staring at 46.9 seconds remaining in the opening period. A minute and 8 left, and no allowance penalty for the Islanders. And the Sea Dogs with the face-off just outside Charlottetown's blue line.
Charlottetown doing a great job getting in the way of passing lanes, and St. John's just trying to force those passes, and they're not there.
Well, we've already talked about the Islander #1 penalty kill, so there's some smart hockey players killing penalties for Charlottetown. Dufour to center with 32 seconds left in the period. In over the line, Anson feeds it through to Dufour. He's stick-checked immediately at the line, and then Poirier was going to pinch and opted not to. Puck sent into the near corner. Brabenich leaves it. No, Brabenich has it. 17 seconds left. Battles along the boards, burning up those precious seconds. And then it's Brabenich once more. Sea Dogs 1-on-3, and Brabenich, nice job killing the penalty, and the puck is flipped to center. 4 seconds left. This is going to be it. McDonald tries a long shot on goal, and then McDonald mixes it up with Gallant, and that'll bring the period to a close. And we'll take a break, come back with a first period summary, and then a chance for myself and Joe Smith to talk about, well, a few of the developments from the week. And that's coming up in the first period intermission. We'll turn it back to the station. You're listening to Sea Dogs Radio, presented by TD on 93 CFBC.
3 minutes. Thirty-second commercial. $15. $10. 10. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to TD Station. We are in the first period intermission between the visiting Charlottetown Islanders and your St. John Sea Dogs. Well, to look back on the opening 20 minutes, and it really feels like a game that was picked up from a week ago in Charlottetown, where both teams were incredibly stingy in creating or taking away scoring opportunities for one another. And it is not surprising that we are scoreless here after 20 minutes. Shot clock slightly in favor of St. John, 12 to 10. And that's an indication of how close the period was, and that's what we're expecting. It's going to be a game of mistakes and who makes the least and who capitalizes on the other team's mistakes. Right now, both teams very, very disciplined in as far as their responsibilities defensively. Penalties in that first period, the Islanders end up with 2. They had a double minor for high sticking and 1 for tripping. And Riley Bezo ending up with an interference minor. So 2 penalties to the Islanders, 1 to St. John. And both teams successful on their PKs in killing off the opposition man advantages. That is the opening 20 minutes. We'll take a break and be back with our conversation with Joe Smith. You're listening to Sea Dogs Radio, presented by TD on 93 CFBC.
1:30. And I need 2:40 on the clock after you guys finish your interview.
Okay.
You are my donut to my coffee. And you are my coffee to my donut.
1 minute.
Lipton's Coffee and Donuts. With coffee made fresh every 20 minutes and donuts baked fresh throughout the day, we're committed to being Canada's favorite today and always. That's why we're passionate about serving the best and to pair nicely with your coffee. Our pasta cream is more filling and our apple fritter has even more apples.
30.
It's coffee and donuts. It's the perfect pairing. Get yours today.
$20. 15. 6, 5, 4.
Welcome back to TD Station in the first period intermission between the Charlottetown Islanders and St. John Sea Dogs. Scoreless after 20 minutes. And joining me in this, in this game and in this intermission, brought to you by Advantage Auto. The difference is clear. Joe Smith, delighted to have you on the broadcast once again. And, let's start with your thoughts on the opening 20 minutes.
You look at the numbers, like you said, the shots, 12-10, hits 10-8, both in favor of St. John. Other than special teams, that they were pretty much identical in every way. And Charlottetown, like we talked about, their number 1 penalty kill, they certainly flexed it in the first period. But it's just, you hear the cliche, it's a game of inches. You have the Owen Say drive the net, cuts across the crease, Erdeby's down and out, and it just rolls off his stick. And at the other end, you've got the pass behind the net to Dufour that crosses up LaPena, and he's got a wide open net to wrap it in on the other side. It rolls off his stick. So the game could easily go in either direction right now, and that's not surprising given the skill on both sides.
Well, it certainly highlights the importance of the first goal. St. John came up with the first goal in Charlottetown, and I don't want to put too much emphasis on first goal. I mean, there's still lots of hockey to be played, but there's something psychological that goes with, you know, getting that first goal, especially when you know you're into a tough defensive battle against an opponent, and you know you get one, they're going to have to work awfully hard to tie this hockey game.
Well, I think that's exactly it with the stinginess of the defense. It's one thing if you're playing 9-7 hockey games against the same team over and over again. The first goal might not be so important, but there are no gimmies with St. John or with Charlottetown. And thinking about Nicholas Urtubise and just what a cool story it's been. Like when he arrived, you know, there's a feeling out process like with any new player, and his numbers in February they weren't that great. He had a 2.91 goals against and an 8.87 save percentage, which is not going to get the job done. But as he got more comfortable, as the team started to mesh, you look at his numbers in March, a 2.33 goals against and a 9.30 save percentage. Those are the numbers that can win you a championship, as Nicholas Urtubise well knows.
Yeah, and those are the kinds of numbers also, Joe, that he produced in Victoriaville in the President Cup playoff run that they had. Those are exactly the kind of numbers that he was showing in those clutch situations, and it's why Trevor Georgie went looking for him to see if he was available with the game plan, knowing the Sea Dogs would be in the Memorial Cup. You want a guy with experience. You want a guy who's got a proven track record in pressure situations. And Urtubise had delivered for Victoriaville last year, winning the President Cup. And certainly a big addition to the St. John Sea Dogs.
And they've got a double layer of confidence when you think about Thomas Couture. You compare his March numbers, they're even better than Urtubise. So that's another level of, you know, you have confidence, ultimate confidence in your starter. And even if there was something to happen, Thomas Couture can well step in and handle the load.
Yeah, I really think Couture flies under the radar. You know, he's sort of like the throw-in, you know, in the blockbuster deal with Moncton. But there's no throw-in in his game. I like the tandem. And, of course, we're keeping an eye on Noah Patno. Patno really started to come into his own back in December, and then the injury in Sherbrooke. He ended up getting the decision in the game because he had played phenomenal against the Phoenix and then was injured and has ended up requiring surgery, back to Switzerland. But the word is that Patno is recovering, and that will make for a very interesting situation with three quality goalies. And we'll cross those bridges when we come to it. But another big piece of news, Joe, this week, as of yesterday, the St. John Sea Dogs, long-awaited announcement of a captain. Vincent Sevigny wears the C tonight for the first time for St. John. And the alternate captains, Riley Bizot, William Villeneuve, Philippe Daou, and then as part of that leadership group, now they can't wear letters, but it is Nicolas Urtubise, Jan Kuznetsov, and Olivier Picard. You know, based on this selection, especially Sevigny coming in the trade in December, we've got some players that have been here for 3 years, but Sevigny gets the C. So you know there's lots going on behind the scenes. You've been through the experience as a captain, but also knowing the dynamics of a dressing room. What goes into it? What lies behind the scenes of the selection to select your captain and alternate captains?
Well, it certainly speaks volumes to the limited amount of time he's been here, and that's not to take a shot at the leadership skills or character of any of the returning players. But obviously there's an it factor with Sevigny. He was the first big piece when they went for the rebuild, if you want to call it that, at the trade deadline. And he has the experience. He's been there, he's done it, he's won it, and there's no substitute for that. And so clearly, as you've said, we're not privy to everything that goes on in the dressing room, but clearly a great dressing room presence. We know how he plays. You're going to get 100% every night, and he strikes me as a big lead-by-example guy, which you need.
Yeah, and you mentioned presence. I remember clearly seeing him in Victoriaville when the Sea Dogs were in Quebec on their road trip, and Sevigny stood out to me. He had a presence, and that obviously translates from the ice to the dressing room and vice versa. And Sevigny honored, and he was interviewed just momentarily at the end of the period on ice. And certainly Vincent Sevigny, he's clearly earned the respect of his teammates in short order, and has obviously earned the respect of the coaching staff. So Vincent Sevigny will lead, and then Riley Bezo, William Villeneuve, and Philippe Dao. I mean, it's a pretty solid group of guys that will obviously bring a lot to any leadership group. So the Sea Dogs have made their decision. And another piece of information, Joe, you mentioned it to me as well, is Philippe Dao. This, I don't know if it was yesterday or Wednesday, but Dao had a big moment as well.
That's right. Entry-level deal signed with the Ottawa Senators, and that's pretty special. I mean, special, from an outside standpoint, just for the St. John Sea Dogs organization to have that with you, but a nice confidence boost for sure for Philippe getting to sign that deal, and exciting future for him.
Well, we've talked about how many players on the St. John Sea Dogs are NHL drafted, and Philippe Dao drafted by the Ottawa Senators, and of course the Ottawa Senators very familiar with the St. John Sea Dogs. Thomas Chabot, unfortunately, Chabot just recently announced injured, and looks like he is potentially done for the season. But Thomas Chabot, we watched him grow up here in St. John, and then to see him go on to the Ottawa Senators, and we certainly would love to see Philippe Dao have that same success within that organization. We'll take a break and be back with the second period. You're listening to Sea Dogs Radio, presented by TD on 93 CFBC.
.240.
Yep.
One minute. .30. .20. .10. 6, 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to TD Station. Bruce Smith along with Joe Smith bringing you the action between the Charlottetown Islanders and St. John Sea Dogs. Clock counting down. The Islanders will defend the goal to our left with Francesco LaPena, and to our right, Nicola Urtubis. And Goal for St. John. Quick look at the other town scoreboard. It's a busy night. 7 games in action. There's only one other game already underway. The others starting later in Quebec. But in Cape Breton, the Eagles are down 1-0 to the visiting Acadie Bathurst Titan. They are awaiting the start of the second period there. So not a lot to report. And those other Quebec games will not be completed when we sign off here at TD Station. Clock is reset. Sea Dogs on a power play. The Irving Oil power play. Lawrence wins the draw. 19 seconds left to work with. At the line, Lawrence tries to get the puck in deep. Burns comes up with it. He goes up high. Dufour. Dufour's shot and a tremendous glove save by LaPena. As Dufour able to drag the puck, skating backwards and then snap it. And that was a nice glove save. We were commenting on LaPena being a left-handed goaltender, as in he catches with his right hand. And even though that's what I was, it still looks funny to me. Face off to his right. It's one back to the point, and then Sevigny can't keep it in. He's forced back. That's going to do it for the Sea Dogs on their man advantage. Desroches to Lawrence at center. We're back to even strength. In over the blue line. Lawrence leaves it for Dufour. Back down to behind the goal. It's rimmed up the board. Sevigny can't keep the puck in, and he's forced all the way back. Gay chasing after him. Cross ice to Desroches. Long lead pass broken up at center ice. Puck bouncing around in the neutral zone, and then the puck comes up and gets Desroches in the face. Looks like he's going to be able to shake it off. Still puck at center. It's flipped in deep by Cormier. Around to the far side. Dares. Stairs knocks it into the far corner of the Sea Dog zone. Up the board, Sevigny to Trenholm, and it's going to go the length of the ice. That's going to be an icing against St. John. That faceoff will come all the way back. And I believe Charlie Desroches has been cut. So he's going to get a chance to come off. Normally they would require him to stay on. And it looks like it's in his mouth area. Jeff Kelly, the athletic therapist, over to have a look, get the gauze out. Face off to the right of Nicolas Urtubise. And some discussion about, I think it's blood on the ice, is it,
They're
Bill?
dealing with some Desroches blood. Going for the shovel.
We're going to have a little delay here as they will not leave any part of Charlie Desroches on the ice. So he is being tended to. And they are waiting for the Zamboni door to open. So they're going to need someone out with a scraper to deal with it. Now the conversation with the arena staff, and they're going to go get the tool that they require. Hey, the old days, Joe, they just get the skate blade out and scrape it up. And
I thought that's what they were doing.
I don't think so. I think they want an actual scraper, and I would think.
Doesn't seem to be a lot of rush, so.
No, we're just underway in this second period. 18:56 remains, so we've only played 1 minute and 4 seconds. So we're going to get a bit of a pause as they still no sign. Now, Vincent Sevigny decides, I'm going to just look after it myself. We get a towel out. Charlie Desroches is out picking up his own blood.
That's got to be a first.
And now Gordy Dwyer's going, get off the ice, Bruce, the arena man. He's got his shovel. But he's going to come out here and go, I got nothing to pick up.
There is no blood for him to get.
And then back he goes. Oh, it's good to keep it light.
Well, they know where the shovel is now.
Yes, indeed. You can enjoy some music here on a Friday night. Just a beautiful day in St. John. A night where if you weren't at TD Station, you might even get the barbecue out. That's the kind of evening it's been. It feels like spring. It also feels like playoffs. And yet, we've still got a regular season to continue on through. Now play underway in Sea Dog territory. Puck bounces around. Villeneuve gets to it. he reverses to Sevigny behind the Sea Dog goal. And back to Villeneuve. Under pressure, he goes up the boards. And Dufour will flip it, but not out. Kept in at the line. Budgel sends it in behind the goal. Villeneuve sidesteps the check. Dow knocked off the puck. It's back to the point. Cormier looking. Shot that goes off the stick of Trenholm up into the netting. And boy, there's not a lot of room out there right now, Joe. Both teams very mindful of the skill level of each other. And there's not a lot of time and space to deal with as both teams in one another's face very quickly. LeBlanc against Daou in Sea Dog territory. The draw is one. It goes off the skate of the linesman. Darache around the back of his goal to Francis at center. His pass jumps over the stick of Daou, and we're going to get another icing. And this start of the second period has been a grind.
I think we'd be about 7 minutes in the first period.
Well, again, there was no score to report, but we did have some action at both ends. There were chances. There was a bit of flow to the game. You know, the few power plays as well. But as we start this second period, icings, some blood on the ice, and we just haven't had anything going on. Up the near boards, and it's Say. He comes down into the near corner, back to the point. Plandowski shot off a leg into the near corner. Dow, correct that. That's Darache along the boards with Horth. And then it's Darache who comes up with it behind his own goal. He'll send it way up ice. Francis is offside. He's got to go back. Sea Dogs have to tag up. That buys time for the Islanders to their own blue line. Lead pass to center. Darache fires it up the boards to Francis. Springs Anson's. Anson's stick check at the blue line. Dow follows up. Cross ice to Francis. Francis, that's off a stick up and behind the goal. Francis gets to it along the boards with Trudeau. Puck worked free. Up high. And it's picked up. There's McDonald, a quick shot and an equally quick catching glove by LaPena. He has looked very steady. He played last night, picking up the shutout against the Moncton Wildcats. He only had 20 shots, so it wasn't like he was run off his feet. But they come back, right back with LaPena. You don't see all the time when back-to-back games to go back with the same goaltender, but Jim Holton decides that's what he's going to do. Play back underway. Gay to center ice for Charlottetown. Steps over center, wrists it in to the near corner. Up the boards. Kept in. Puck rolls through, and it's in. And it's Patrick Gay going to the front of the net, and it goes off Gay's body in behind Urtubise, and then Gay whacks it in. And Patrick Gay just continues to rack up goals, as that will be Gay's 39th of the season. He is only 3 back of William Dufour, and they've gone back and forth all season. There have been times when Gay has led the QMJHL in scoring, and then recently Dufour has taken over and dominated, and they rule it a good goal. The Islanders strike first. Face off at center ice. Chantler works it free back to Darache to Drapeau. Center ice, it's sent in behind the Charlottetown goal. Maynard goes up the boards. Kept in, Lassard. High shot off the shoulder of LaPena. That was off the stick of Picard. Well, good forechecking by the Sea Dogs as they pressure behind the Islander net. Up the line, kept in by Drapeau. Up the boards and out to center ice. Drapeau forced back to his own blue line. Drapeau on to Lassard, back to Picard, and then it's in behind the Charlottetown net. LaPena to the far side. Up the boards to center. In over the line. Elliott tries to squeeze by around the wraparound. It bounces loose in front. Still there. And then it is turned back up the boards by Say. to the line, kept in, allowing the shot, and that got redirected, and for a moment looked like it might squeak through Urtubi's pads, but he was able to fight it off and hang on for the faceoff. The Islanders buzzing after their goal to start this second period.
Yeah, just consistent effort from the Islanders, back-to-back-to-back shifts, and just outworking St. John.
Now the Budgell line, that's with Gallant and Elliott, up against the Sea Dogs top line of Lawrence, Burns, and Dufour. Lowen's shot, that's off the blocker of Urtubis. Dufour gets to it. He leaves it in behind the goal. Picked up by Gallant. He goes back to the point, it's out. And they'll blow it down, and that's offside. Face off just outside the Sea Dog blue line with 15:54 remaining in this second period. Islanders up 1-0. Lawrence will face Gallant. And Gallant wins it. Now in over the line. Puck is wide, thrown towards the front of the net. And back the other way comes Drapeau. To center ice, Burns. Nice move by Burns, but it was that extra move that put Lawrence offside. Sea Dogs right now just not clicking. And it's one of those situations, Joe, where it's either the Islanders forcing the Sea Dogs not to click, or just simply the Sea Dogs aren't clicking.
Well, you don't want to get into the habit of things aren't working, so we're going to try and do it ourselves, and that can be a dangerous place to find yourself against a good team like Charlottetown.
Villeneuve over the line, puts it in behind the Charlottetown goal, stares around the boards at the line. Sevigny keeps in, finds the stick of Burns, and then he runs into Lawrence. Puck is knocked to center ice, and in comes the stairs. Walking in, shot into the midsection of Urtubis, and he'll smother it as he recognized there were odd numbers coming in favor of the Charlottetown Islanders, and Urtubis goes, I don't want to give up a rebound here. Faceoff will be to his right. There seems to be a lot of whistles and very little spurts of play. We're looking at 15:21 remaining in the period. Islanders up 1-0 if you've joined us late. Playback underway. Islanders control. High slot. LeBlanc shot. The backdoor tip attempt by Gallant. And it looked like Urtubis able to get a piece of it. Into the near corner. Shot towards the net, and Urtubis smothers it. He had Gallant and Horth standing on the doorstep. And if there had been a rebound off Urtubis, that would have been serious trouble as they bookend Urtubis. Sea Dogs right now sagging a little bit. They need to get a line on the ice that's going to give them a bit of life, as the Islanders seem to have found their legs in this second period after the Gay goal. Trenholm to center, in over the line. Trenholm tries to get it in deep, can't. Trudeau back behind the Charlottetown goal, being chased by Francis to the far side. Puck out to center ice. Daou comes up with the puck. Daou still controlling. Daou slides it in deep, and then he is run by Todd into the Sea Dog bench. Cross ice pass to Roche back into his own zone. Out to center ice. Francis will relay it in deep, no icing. LaPena hard off the glass. McDonald keeps it in. Throws it towards the net. Knocked down by Trudeau, and he's out to center. Here comes Trudeau in over the line. The shot, that sails over top of the net. Bizot leaves it for Villeneuve. Behind the goal, it bounces crazily off the boards. Despont under immediate pressure. Puck is worked free. Budgell up the boards to the point. The shot, that knocked down in front by Despont. Long lead pass, and then Bizot levels his man. As I'm not sure. Certainly Bizot saw him coming. Who was that, Joe?
That was Biaka Batuka stepping up on that play, and Bizot saw him coming.
Yes, indeed. The former Victoriaville Teague has come in. He's a big body presence. Got to be a 6'4" type guy, and I think he got the worst of it against Bizot Bezo may not be standing 6'4", but he is rock solid.
And with that momentum, too, because Biaka Batuka was a bit flat-footed as Bezo was coming through.
Yes, he was. McDonald will take the draw against Budgell. McDonald wins it. Drapeau wrists around the far side. It's knocked down at the line. Elliott comes up with it. Puck chopped in the air, bounces around, and it's still in the zone and finally out to center ice. Play a bit scrambly at the moment. Well, the puck is going to roll down towards the front of the goal, and in behind his own net is Maynard. Maynard, his pass intercepted at center, and then following up is Budgell. He's in over the line. DeRoche steers him to the far side, knocks him to the ice, and the puck is up to Drapeau. On to McDonald to center. McDonald leaves it for Bezo. Bezo back to McDonald. Shot. That's off the glove of LaPenna, but he couldn't catch it. And the rebound is gobbled up by Gay to center. Chopped off his stick. Bounces around, and now Gay circles back into his own zone. His lead pass to Stairs. The late man coming is Maynard. He'll fire it in off the glass, and it's into the near corner Sea Dog territory along the boards. Puck is worked free, and it's sent the length of the ice all the way in behind the Charlottetown goal. Lowen to center ice. Here comes Stairs on to Gay. He'll flip it in the air to the far corner Sea Dog territory. Sevigny and Stairs tangle. It goes up the boards. Gay back up top to the point. Kept in by Cormier. Fed out in front, and it's picked off by Villeneuve as Gay was hunting for his second of the game. Here comes Villeneuve. Feathers it through to Chandler. It's just off his stick into the near corner. Cormier around the back of the Islander goal to center ice. It's off Gay's stick. He's logging some significant ice time at the moment. Sevigny in front of the Sea Dog net to Villeneuve to center. Pass to Dufour. Dufour with a couple moves, and he's into the Islander territory. Steered off the puck, and back come the Islanders to center ice. In over the line. Knocked in behind the goal. Horth bodied. Comes up with it to LeBlanc. Back up high. Cormier shot. They score. It goes off somebody in front of the goal. And I'm not sure who it was. It looks like they are congratulating Gallant. But the shot from the point hits a body in front, and there were plenty of bodies in front of Nicola Urtubis. And the Islanders, who have come on hard in this second period, are rewarded. They now lead 2-0.
Just a shot through an absolute maze. I mean, no chance for Urtubis as a straight shot, but then add the deflection. And it's just give Charlottetown credit for driving the net and getting that traffic, because that's the only way you're going to beat someone like Urtubis.
Well, that's the kind of game this is turning into right now. Is it going to be getting bodies to the front of the net, traffic, banging, crashing, playing in those hard areas? Because I don't know if you're going to create offense off a rush against these two teams. Now, here comes Dow over the line with a couple moves. Dow into the near corner, chops it down. Trenholm around the glass far side. Francis will get to it first. Francis up the boards, back to the point. The shot, that hits something in front into the near corner. Daou, he falls to the ice. Gallant over top of him, works it free and sends it to Plandowski behind the Charlottetown goal. Out to center ice. It's sent in deep by Horth. In after it is Poirier. Poirier and DeRoche follows up, and he's off the center. DeRoche in behind the Charlottetown goal. Up the far side. Trenholm and Francis in along the boards. Todd giving his guy a push and a shove. Trudeau knocks it free to the near corner. Plandowski knocks Daou to the ice. It's underneath Daou. McQuaid and Trenholm in to help out. It's still in Daou's skates. Francis comes in to help out. It is work free. Picard has come off the bench, and he is in the play. Now, Francis heads off the chains. Lassard over the boards. Sea Dog's able to make changes while the puck is Charlottetown zone. It's work free. Trudeau, long lead pass. In over the line, and it's off Poirier's stick. Nice defensive play by Jeremy Poirier. And that goes up and out of play off the stick of Sam Bonus. And we have the shovels out. to clear some snow. 27 seconds away from the halfway point of the game. And the Islanders up 2-0 as Nicholas Gay scores his 39th of the season. And then Kieran Gallant with his 3rd of the year. That is all the scoring, and it's come in this second period. So the Sea Dogs looking for some spark, and right now the Islanders have done a nice job of shutting St. John down. Shot clock very tight, 18-16 now in favor of the Islanders. So the Sea Dogs are going to need some spark, and not surprising, over the boards comes the Lawrence line. If you're going to create an offensive spark, that's a pretty good line to put out there. It'll be Darash Drapeau, the defensive pair. And the Budgell line has been going head-to-head with the top line. Now Dufour to center. He loses the puck and back over the line. Elliott, he stick check, followed up far side by Say. Into the near corner. Drapeau under pressure. And it's knocked down, and Say comes up with it. He'll send it to the far corner in Sea Dog territory. Elliott to Budgell, back to Say. Right now, the Islanders with an extra step. Now, the puck worked towards the front of the net. Urtubise steers it away, far corner. Elliott gets to it first. Down low to Say. Say behind the net. Heavy going, Say and Darash. Darash works the puck free up the boards to Dufour, and then he loses it. Now coming a block shot by Drapeau in front. And the Sea Dogs are hemmed in their own zone. Up the boards, Burns banks it to center. And it's fired back and just stays in play. In behind the Sea Dog goal. Drapeau around the boards to Darash. To Dufour. Dufour immediately bodied. In behind the net. Brabenich. Shot. There's a glove save by Urtubise. Juggled momentarily and hangs on. As right now the ice is tilted in favor of the Charlottetown Islanders. And the legs look pretty heavy for St. John at the moment.
Well, as you mentioned, the just the added step that it appears Charlottetown has found. I don't know if you want to call it bus legs. I don't know if it's a combination of St. John just not having the same jump coming out, but Charlottetown looking very strong right now.
Well, they've been rewarded with a couple goals in this second period, and it's amazing how light the legs get when you come up with a lead in a very close checking game. Puck at center ice, and now in over the line. McDonald is stick checked and turned back, and here come the Islanders to center. Todd will slide it in deep. Villeneuve under pressure. It's work free. And up the boards, Anson to McDonald. McDonald, cross ice pass. We've got a delayed penalty against the Islanders. In over the line, McDonald finds the stick of Bizo around the back of the goal, and then it's touched up by Lowen. And we've got an interference call being made. It looks like it's going to be Todd. Jared Todd on his way to the penalty box. Interference is the signal from the official. The Irving Oil power play. And if there was a time that the Sea Dogs needed a power play, it's right now. But as we say that, we also see how good this penalty kill is for the Islanders, number one in the league. The Sea Dogs power play needs some offense right at the moment. Face off to the left of LaPena. Lawrence wins the draw back to Poirier. Poirier, fake shot. Goes back to Lawrence. Lawrence under immediate pressure, takes it down low, in behind the goal. Lawrence back up high. Poirier, cross ice. Dufour finds McDonald in front. That's off a stick and into the glass in behind the net. We've got another penalty coming, and it's going to go to the Islanders. And the Sea Dogs are going to let them touch it up, and then Trudeau decks McDonald. And that could be arguably an interference call, as McDonald didn't have the puck, but it looks like Lawrence got clipped with a high stick, and I don't know if we've got blood in this situation. Let's hope he keeps it away from the ice so we don't have another delay. Right now it is Gallant. Kieran Gallant, the goal scorer for the Islanders, gets a 2-minute high sticking penalty. The plot thickens. The Sea Dogs have a 5-on-3 opportunity, and they have 1 minute and 35 seconds to work with. Face off to the left of Lepenna. Once more, Lawrence wins it. Back up high, Dufour. Poirier, 5-on-3 for the Irving Oil power play. Down low. Desroches, Dufour, and that's off a stick and up and out of play. And you've got a lot of respect for this Islander PK because they are facing some pretty talented people. Ansons, Lawrence, Daou, Poirier, Dufour. And now the official doesn't like where Dufour is lining up for the faceoff. And now we get a warning to Lawrence. Toe out of place. Puck bouncing around there. Ansons will get to it. Chops it up the boards. Gay will get to it, and he sends it the length of the ice. Those are precious seconds. The Islanders able to burn off the clock. Poirier around his goal. Leaves it for Dufour. Dufour to center. In over the line. Kept in by Lawrence. Lawrence loses it, and then here comes Gay and Lawrence in a foot race. This is a 5-on-3, and Charlottetown threatening. In over the line. Daou to Ansons. Ansons knocked to the ice. Lawrence on the half wall. Up high to Poirier. Poirier, puck bouncing on him. He's able to corral it, gets it to Dufour. Dufour shot doesn't get through. Daou knocks it down. 41 seconds left in the 5-on-3. Dufour up high, looking. Backdoor play. Shot, save, rebound, lies loose. And it's picked up, kept in at the line by Dufour. Dufour still with the puck. Dufour, cross ice, Lawrence shot, that's blocked and doesn't get through. Up high to Poirier. Poirier, Dufour. Dufour shot, save, rebound kept in by Poirier. Dufour once more. Dufour shot, that's wide of the net and up into the netting. It lies loose behind the Charlottetown goal. Work free, 7 seconds left in the 5-on-3. Back up high to Dufour. Dufour shot, that's off a leg and up and into the netting. And we are down to 25 seconds left in the Sea Dog power play. And you can see the frustration as they had their chances and could not capitalize.
Exactly that. And I mean, credit Lepenna, credit the shot blocks. It's just, they're very tight, very confined. An excellent job so far.
McDonald will take the draw and wins it back to Villeneuve. Villeneuve, he dishes it off to Lassard. Lassard back up high. Here comes Villeneuve, the shot. Where is it? It's in Lepenna. For a moment there, it looked like he was fighting to keep it from squeaking through his pads. And is able to fight it off and hang on to that puck with 15 seconds left in the Sea Dog 5-on-4 power play. McDonald once more against LeBlanc. LeBlanc wins it, and it is sent the length of the ice, and that is going to pretty much do it for St. John. Francis back behind his own goal, puts the brakes on, and now up ice. To his own blue line, Francis goes cross ice to Villeneuve. In over the line. Villeneuve takes it wide, puts it towards the goal. Francis couldn't catch up to it. Burns on the sideboards, and he's pinned. Francis comes in to lend a hand, and it's in the near corner Charlottetown territory. Along the boards, the rugby scrum. Burns works it free around the back of the goal. Burns puts it out in front. Lassard couldn't pull the trigger. Along the boards. And out to the line and out to center ice as Villeneuve couldn't catch it. Puck bounces in front of the Sea Dog bench. Now here comes Burns. He trips and falls. No call on the play, and the puck is out and down into the Sea Dog zone. Villeneuve banks to Sevigny. Sevigny to center. In over the line. Slides it into Bizot. Bizot, sharp angle shot on goal. And Lepenna makes the save. Puck is flipped high in the air to center. Drapeau knocks the puck down and then fires it into the Islander zone. Trudeau to center ice. Elliott can't play it. Bizot will push it back in behind the Islander goal. Trudeau once more up the far boards. Puck is knocked out to center ice. Say will get to it. cross ice to an open wing. Bizo comes up to it at center ice. It'll be fired in deep by Trenholm. LaPena leaves it behind his own goal. Up the boards. Trenholm one-times it into the near corner. Along the boards, Trudeau and Francis. Here comes McDonald's shot. That's wide of the net. Bounces in behind the Islander goal, and then it bounces again as Francis works it off the netting. And then McDonald puts a heavy hit, and the fans love that. Trudeau out to center ice. He'll backhand it in deep as the Sea Dogs are hunting for big hits. Francis in his own zone eludes the forecheck and is off the center ice. Here comes Francis with a couple nice moves. Francis tries to feed it through McDonald, and it's picked off. Back come the Islanders to center. It's flipped into the near corner. Gallant against Sevigny. Horth comes in to help out. He's pinned by McDonald behind the Sea Dog goal. 3:54 remains in this second period. Islanders up 2-0. Puck is fed out in front, and then it goes off a stick. And Urtubey is able to fall on it, and will hang on for that face-off with 3:47 remaining in the second period.
I mean, give credit to St. John. You know, there's no quit in them. It's things aren't going the way that they're planning on it. The power play couldn't capitalize on the chances, but there's no quit. There's no sitting back. Even though you can clearly see they're frustrated, they're not hanging them up by any means.
Now, there's still lots of hockey left to be played. 3:47 to be exact in this second period, and then on to the third. Just a quick look at the other town scoreboard. In Cape Breton, the Titan have built a 3-0 lead, and they're approaching the midway point of the second period. In Rouyn-Noranda, the Huskies up 1-0 on the Drummondville Voltigeur. Val-d'Or is hosting Baie-Comeau, and it's the 4 up 1-0 on the Drakkar. And no scoring in Sherbrooke that'll be a good game with the Shawinigan Cataracts in town against the Phoenix, but that is scoreless late in the first period. Still nothing. Halifax in Blainville-Beaubriand tonight, and Quebec is in Chicoutimi. Play back underway. The puck in behind the Sea Dog net. Lifts high in the air. Francis comes up to it. He's bodied along the boards. Kept in by Plandowski. Shot into the midsection of Urtubey's. And Urtubey's has had to deal with plenty of traffic, Joe, in front of him. He's done a fine job of tracking pucks. And the only goals that he has given up is, again, the traffic situation in front of him. And they've just been wild scrambles.
And positionally, he's so sound. Even if he's not going to see it, sometimes he'll just swallow them up anyway. He's positioned well.
Rabinich against Daou. Daou wins it back to Sevigny behind the Sea Dog goal. Up the far side to Francis. Francis flips it to Daou at center. The late man is coming as Sevigny. His pass is off a stick, and the Islanders retrieve. To the far side. Plowman back to Cormier. Cormier backhands it in the Sea Dog territory. It's along the boards, just in over the blue line, in front of the Charlottetown bench, still in their feet. And Daou comes in to help out, and he gets a couple whacks from Brabinich on the back. In behind the Sea Dog goal, Ansons under pressure, loses it. Stairs goes back to the point, kept in nicely at the line by Cormier. The redirect, and Urtubey's had to be careful there. Puck is chopped free. Daou gets to it near corner. He'll flip it to center, and it's Villeneuve. Villeneuve to Ansons, in over the line. Ansons, the shot, the save by LaPena with Villeneuve going to the front of the net. And LaPena gets the snow shower from Villeneuve. And I have to tell you, I used to love that.
Why?
Well, what I used to do when I would get showered like that as a goaltender, if I needed to slow the game down, I would make a big deal about clearing the snow out of my mask. And if things were going well, I used to like the coolness. Just like, oh, that was nice. A little, snow shavings in the face, cool me down. I used to like that.
As opposed to the theatrics for the other one.
Right, yeah, going nuts. Oh, the shot from the stick of Dufour, and I think LaPena got a piece of it. Puck is knocked to center ice. Turned over and back to center. Dufour to Burns. Burns in over the line. Stops. feathers it through to Lawrence. Lawrence, sharp angle, tries to go 5-hole in LaPena. And he squeezes the pads with Dufour going to the front of the net, and he was tied up by 2 Islander players. We're looking at 2 minutes and 22 seconds left in this second period. Islanders up 2-0. Scoreless in the first period. Islanders have struck twice in this second. Faceoff will be deep in Charlottetown territory. Lawrence has the draw against Gallant. Back to Dufour. Shot. Doesn't get through. Lots of bodies in those shooting lanes. Compliments of the Charlottetown Islanders. Puck is out to center ice. Horth chops at it into Sea Dog territory. Despont goes up the boards to Poirier. Poirier chops it to Dufour. He'll knife it across ice to Burns, and he'll send it back. Desroches to center ice. Dufour on to Lawrence. He'll slide it in deep. Stairs will go in after it. Stairs picked off by Lawrence behind the goal. He feeds it through. It bounces around in front, still in there, and it's kept in by Villeneuve. Sea Dogs with a buzz now. Dufour back up high. Poirier cross ice. Villeneuve. Villeneuve leaves it for Poirier. Down to Burns. Burns looking to Lawrence. Lawrence chops it up ice, and Poirier could not get to it and keep it in. Poirier with a burst of speed into Charlottetown territory. Takes it wide. Puts it out in front to Lawrence. And LaPena makes the save. The puck lies loose. Up high. Villeneuve keeps it in. Burns the one-timer, and it's redirected coming through off the stick of Trudeau, his own defenseman. But LaPena swallows it up. And the Sea Dogs with a good, strong push late in this second period. But they have not been able to solve Francesco LaPena.
A great shift to build off, though. LaPena, even though he stopped all the shots, he actually looked human. There was a couple of lost rebounds there, and driving the net. St. John's going to get reward if they keep firing.
McDonald will take the draw. It's in their skates. McDonald works it free, throws it towards the near corner. Plandowski gets the puck out to center ice. Lassard in over the line for St. John. Puck lies loose. Anson comes up with it. 1 minute left in the period. Anson's in. Shot. That doesn't get through. It's knocked down in front into the near corner. And then pinching in is Sevigny. McDonald pushes it down low to Lassard. He's bodied behind the goal. Puck worked free by Anson. Back up to Lassard. This shot by McDonald wide. Villeneuve can get over to it but can't keep it in. Out to center ice. Sevigny forced to retreat to the Sea Dog blue line to Villeneuve. Villeneuve over center. His pass attempt off a Charlottetown Islander defender's stick. It lies loose. Kept in by St. John with 22 seconds left. Plandowski around the back of the goal being chased. Up the far boards. Budgel. He's hit along the boards by McDonald. And we're down to 11 seconds left. Turnover. Sevigny can't keep it in. Budgel's off the center with 6 seconds. Here comes Budgel over the blue line. Puts the brakes on. Looks for support. Late man coming. Shot. That's blocked by McDonald. And that was a sacrificial block by Cam McDonald in the dying seconds. And the period has ended. Well, we'll take a break and come back with a summary of the 40 minutes and further conversation with Joe Smith here on the broadcast. You're listening to Sea Dogs Radio, presented by TD on 93 CFBC.
240.
Some people have started, and we can go ahead in 3, 2, 1.
1 minute. $30. 20. 10. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome back to TD Station. We are in the second period intermission between the visiting Charlottetown Islanders and St. John Sea Dogs. A summary of the first two periods. In the first, no scoring. The shot clock in favor of St. John 12 to 10, and that's an indication of how evenly matched it was in that first period, but no scoring to report after 20 minutes. There were 3 penalties called in that first. Double minor to Kieran Gallant of the Islanders. Riley Bezo picking up an interference penalty, and then Noah Lowen with a tripping penalty late in the first period, and neither team able to capitalize on their man advantage. Into the second we go, and it is the Islanders that get on the board first. Early, 2 minutes and 52 seconds in, Patrick Gay, his team leading 39th goal of the season. Assist going to Jeremy Biakabatuka and Jakub Babinich. That at 2:52, it was an even strength goal. And the scoring was not done for the Islanders at 8:13. Kieran Gallant, his third of the season, it's still showing as unassisted. So Gallant picking up his third of the season. And that was all the scoring in the second. Sea Dogs once again leading on the shot clock, another 12-10. 12-10 in the first, 12-10 in the second. But the Sea Dogs trail 2-0 after 40 minutes. Penalties in the second period. Both penalties, 2 penalties called, and both going against the Islanders. Sea Dogs had a 5-on-3 opportunity and just could not capitalize. And you could see the frustration meter rising as the Sea Dogs could not take advantage of a 2-man advantage. And credit the Charlottetown Islander penalty kill, and also LaPena in goal for the Islanders, as they were able to deny a pretty good power play unit for the St. John Sea Dogs. We'll take a break and be back with Joe Smith and further conversation on the Sea Dogs and the road ahead. You're listening to Sea Dogs Radio, presented by TD on 93 CFBC.
We're close to 2 minutes.
What time do you want it back, Eric?
With 2:10 left.
Okay.
One minute. 30. $20. 10. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome back to TD Station. We are in the second period intermission between the visiting Charlottetown Islanders and your St. John Sea Dogs. Once again, very pleased to be joined by Joe Smith, providing us with color analysis of this one. This intermission brought to you by Advantage Auto. The difference is clear. And Joe, your thoughts on the second period?
Well, St. John definitely came out flat to start the second. The missed that missed 5-on-3 for over a minute and a half. That was a tough one, but I mean, not for lack of trying. Charlottetown, again, we've credited them all game with their penalty kill, and they continued. They did a great job with the kill. You'd like to have seen that period, maybe even play like 25 minutes or 28 minutes of that period, because the final 2 or 3 minutes, Sea Dogs were flying, and you would have liked to see it carry through a bit more. But noticing St. John only credited with 4 hits in that period. I don't know if there's any correlation. I mean, I guess if you come out flat, you're not going to be throwing the body anyway. But Charlottetown seemed to kind of settle in. Their first period, their game plan seemed to be a lot of behind the play, some hacks and whacks, and both teams very physical. And it seemed to kind of calm down a little bit in the second. And unfortunately for St. John, they may have calmed down too much, and Charlottetown, as I said, just settled into their game plan.
So let's imagine Gordie Dwyer down there in the Sea Dogs dressing room right at the moment says, let's get Joe Smith in for his thoughts going into the third period. So now over to you, Joe. What do you say to the St. John Sea Dogs as they head into the third?
Well, I probably reintroduce myself first in case they forgot who I was, but I think what I noticed at Charlottetown in the second, it was just those 50-50 pucks. They seemed to have that extra push, the extra drive to get to those 50-50 pucks. So it's not a laziness factor. It's just the extra bearing down on those 50-50 puck battles. And I think you'll see the ice start to tilt the other way if they can win some of those puck battles along the boards in the neutral zone.
Well, I really like the 4-line combination that Gordie Dwyer has. I mean, the Lawrence line has been established well, and the Islanders have been able to shut down a very good line that has been together pretty much for the entire season with Burns, Dufour, and Lawrence. Well, then you look at that second line with Daou, Francis, and Trenholm. I mean, there's some skilled people out there, and then on to McDonald with Bizo and Ansons, and then having Lassard back in the lineup. I mean, to have him, in a fourth line situation, Marshall Lassard is a skilled player, and of course, the rust is going to be a little bit in evidence as he's been out of the lineup for a number of weeks now. So we're certainly going to cut Marshall Lassard some slack, but there he was his first shift, and it was a laser off the shoulder of LaPena, and that's the kind of player he is. He just sort of flies under the radar, coming in from Val d'Or, and certainly welcomed back by St. John, and the Islanders are dealing with their own injuries, and Xavier Simoneau. That's a big piece of their puzzle that is out of the lineup, and I noticed there was an interview with Simoneau in Montreal, and he's standing there in the interview with a big boot, like a walking cast on his foot, and I'm thinking he's not putting that foot into a skate this weekend. When you're walking around with a boot on, that's going to be a lengthy absence. Not sure what the injury is, but certainly Simoneau, who is second on their team in points, leads their team with assists. He's actually tied for second overall with Lawrence. He's got 44 assists, and he's out of the lineup for the Islanders. how much better will they be when he gets back?
Well, that's a scary thing to think that the Charlottetown Islanders are lacking a big piece of their offense. It's kind of scary to think about. But with St. John and Lassard, it speaks to the depth that the team has, that he can be on the fourth line. I don't think that's a long-term thing. But with the depth, that means Gordy Dwyer has the luxury, which we saw briefly in the second, to change things up, change up the lines. And he's not afraid to do it. He's done it before, and he's seen success. We've talked about the Dufour, Burns, Lawrence line. That's pretty much set in stone for good reason. But the rest of those 9, they can be shifted around and still be effective and click.
Yeah, we're into a very tight checking game, and that's what it was in Charlottetown 1 week ago tonight. And the Sea Dogs coming out with a 2-1 victory over the same Islander team. And then here tonight, we're right back into it. And certainly the coaches were interviewed after the game in Charlottetown and spoke about they were pleased with the defensive side of the game, that you've got to be responsible in your own end of the rink. And really, outside of the 2 Islander goals, of course, but both teams have played each other extremely well. And to your point, the Sea Dogs have had their chances. It's not like, they're not generating offense. They lead on the shot clock 24-20, but they've had some quality scoring opportunities and just haven't been able to capitalize.
And you look at the 2 Charlottetown goals, it wasn't like these were complete breakdowns from the Sea Dogs. The first one, Urtubis played the rebound perfectly, out and high, and Gage just happened to be there, hit him in the chest, and he was able to basically carry it into the net, and then the deflected point shot. And that's kind of where St. John needs to take a page out of that book and get some more traffic on LaPenna. He's just too good. Even having a shooter like Dufour in the high slot, if he sees it, it's going to have to be an incredibly placed shot.
Yeah, LaPenna definitely is dialed in, and ugly goals still count. And maybe that's what the Sea Dogs are going to have to come up with in this third period. We'll take a break and be back with the third period. You're listening to Sea Dogs Radio, presented by TD on 93 CFBC.
.210. One minute. .30. .20. .10. 6, 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to TD Station. We are moments away from third period action between the visiting Charlottetown Islanders and your home team St. John Sea Dogs. A quick look at the other town scoreboard. They are awaiting the start of the third in Cape Breton, and it's the Eagles who are making things a little bit interesting in Cape Breton tonight. The Acadie Bathurst Titan are up 5-3. It is the Cape Breton Eagles who have scored 3 to tighten that game up a little bit. In Rouyn-Noranda, it's the Huskies up 2-1 over Drummondville, awaiting the start of the second. Still scoreless in Sherbrooke between the Phoenix and visiting Shawinigan Cataracts. Baie-Comeau up 2-1 on the 4 in Val-d'Or. That is at the end of the first period. In Beaubrion tonight, the Halifax Moosehead visiting the Armada, and it is 2-0 Armada. They have not even got to the halfway point of the first period. So Blainville-Beaubrion getting off to a good start against the visiting Mooseheads. Still scoreless in Chicoutimi with the Quebec Ramparts in town. The clock counting down to the final seconds. Nicolas Urtubise to our left in goal for the Sea Dogs, and to our right it is Francisco LaPena. The clock counting down. The McDonald line will start with Bizo and Anson. And responding, it will be the Budgel line with Elliott along with Say. And puck underway, or play underway. Puck in Charlottetown territory momentarily. It's out to center. Gathered in by Poirier to Ansons. It's relayed in deep by McDonald. LaPena out of his goal, leaves it for Lowen. He spins off the aggressive forecheck of Bizo. Puck is out to center. Elliott will slide it in behind the St. John goal. Urtubise goes up the near boards. Darash relays to McDonald. He's into center ice. Drops it for Dufour. Late man coming. That's Poirier. Poirier's shot. That wide of the net. High off the glass. Villeneuve can't keep it in. Back to his own blue line. He goes cross ice. Poirier chops it to center. Dufour retreats into his own zone and finds the stick of Burns at center. Burns in over the line. He's ridden out of the play. Plandowski and Lawrence tie up in behind the Charlottetown goal. Puck is worked free. Reversed, and it's Plandowski once more to center ice. Gay bumps it back to his own man, and then they are offside. They have to tag up. Villeneuve can't get the puck out. In behind the goal, Urtubise. Little mixed communication momentarily. Then he gets it up ice, and then it's off a skate. Gay fires it from the sharp angle. That's off the mask of Urtubise. Kept in. Trudeau shot. That hits something coming through and knocked down by Sevigny in front of the net. And it's the Islanders, as they started the second, they've started the third, and with a little bit of buzz. Sevigny, Burns to Villeneuve. His lead pass. Here comes Lawrence with a burst of speed. Steered off the puck. Circling in front of his own goal. Gallant being checked by Burns, and then Burns hooked to the ice and no call, and you can hear the crowd not too impressed. Well, dumped in deep, and it's off Urtubise out to center ice. Puck bounces around in the neutral zone, and then a collision. Trenholm and runs into Drapeau. Drapeau up to Francis, jumps over his stick. And Maynard to Gallant. He'll slide the puck into Sea Dog territory, and Drapeau winds it up into his own zone. To center. Nathan Drapeau for St. John. Drops it back to Daou. To Darash. Darash shot. That's hits a shin pad in front of the goal and doesn't get through. And then Francis follows up and overskates the puck. To center ice. Bonus slides it in deep behind the Sea Dog goal. Drapeau off the boards, and it's Trenholm to center. Trenholm still with the puck. Leaves it for Daou. Daou down to Trenholm. Puts it up high. Sevigny shot, and that's wide of the net as he had a chance to load it up. All the way back into their own zone, and it's down the length of the ice. That's going to be, I believe, icing. And the Sea Dogs will not be able to make their changes. Vincent Sevigny, he had a chance to walk in there and load up and fired it wide. I don't think LaPena touched it.
No, it looked like he didn't miss by much. And going back, that Burns play, such a great play to strip the puck of Biakabatuka, and then as he was going back to the net, that looked pretty clear, stick in the arms. But anyway.
Face-off will come to the right of Urtubise. Kept in, Cormier. Shot, knocked down in front, cleared, and it's Trenholm to center. with numbers. Here comes Trenholm. Dow drives the net. Here comes Lessard late. Lessard fires it over top of the net. And that was a golden opportunity for Marshall Lessard. To center ice, Lessard in over the line for St. John. Slides it into the near corner. To the far side, Trudeau sidesteps the check. It's out to center ice. Elliott steered off the puck nicely by DeRoche, but it's in behind the Sea Dog goal. Picard gets it out to center ice. Plandowski back into his own zone for the Islanders. Leaves it for Gay. Gay to Trudeau. Trudeau over center. It's fired in to the near corner, Sea Dog territory. DeRoche to his defensive partner, Poirier. Up ice. Bizo over center. Puts it through. Here comes Picard. Puts it in the front. We've got a penalty coming. It's going to go against the Islanders. And it's a hook. Well, another opportunity for Sea Dogs to get on the scoreboard. It'll be an Irving Oil power play. Out come the Shovels. And it'll be an opportunity for the Sea Dogs to put the exact 5 that they want for this first power play unit.
And nice to see the effort rewarded as Picard driving wide. Just as he was about to make that centering pass, Plandowski got the stick down on the hands. Hopefully the St. John can build on that.
Dowd wins the draw back to Poirier. Or correct that, Villeneuve. Francis down low. Banks back to Villeneuve. To Lessard. Lessard shot. Save, rebound. No, it's up his sleeve. As it's one of those nights for La Pena. And Lessard, you can just see his release point. That guy can shoot a puck.
Yeah.
And but to your point earlier, Joe, if La Pena sees it, it's going to be quite a shot to beat this guy straight on. Francis will take the draw against Gallant. It's in his skates, still in their skates. It's work free. Trudeau will get to it. Around the boards. Villeneuve, nice job keeping it in. He goes cross ice. Dow, it's off a leg and out to center ice, and Dow has to retreat back into the Sea Dog zone. Villeneuve up to Dow to center. In over the line. Dow slides it through. Here comes Lessard around the back of the goal. Lessard can't get it up to Burns, and it's lifted high in the air. It's going to roll all the way down to Urtubise, and Urtubise is going to play it. Gay comes up with it behind the goal, and Gay will put it up to Brabenich, and the Islanders retreat into their own zone, burning up the clock. Lead pass. Here comes Gay over the line. Gay with a couple nice moves. He is a nice player. Francis with the loose puck around the back of his own goal to Lawrence to center. 59 seconds left in the man advantage for St. John. Burns walks the line to McDonald. McDonald's shot. That's off the shoulder high on La Pena. Kept in by Lawrence. Lawrence down the wall. Back up high to Poirier. Poirier loads. Shot. Scores! Jeremy Poirier. And I don't know if it was tip coming through. Right now it looks like it's all Jeremy Poirier with a blast. It'll be a power play goal for St. John. Poirier banging it home, and that's going to be Poirier's 12th of the season. The Sea Dogs trail 2-1.
What a shot by Poirier, and also traffic in front like we talked about. Might have been even screened by his own man, but it's a perfectly placed shot posted in.
Well, we'll see what happens now, how the Sea Dogs will respond with the goal. If that puts the extra jump in their legs, you know there'll be a pushback right now from the Islanders. Up the near boards, Bizo. Worked free, Sevigny to center ice, and it's Ansons. Puts the brakes on, flips it high in the air. It's gloved down at the line by Maynard. And it's Ansons retreats back into his own zone to Villeneuve. Villeneuve to Sevigny. Sevigny. Puck bouncing over sticks. Ansons back to Sevigny once more. Off the linesman to center. Bizo hits the late man, and it's Villeneuve. He overskates the puck, lies loose, and it's picked up by Say. He'll skate it into Sea Dog territory, flip it in the air. He's going to head off for a line change. Villeneuve pinned to the boards. It's worked free, and Sevigny comes up with it. The captain for St. John to Burns. His pass intercepted. Puck bounces around, and it's Burns who comes up with it along the far boards, and then he's stripped of it. Sevigny will flip it in the air. That's going to go the length of the ice, but no icing. Plandowski will get to it, circle in front of the Charlottetown goal. Plandowski turns it back, Burns shadowing him. Up ice, picked off. That's Lawrence. It's stick checked from him. DeRoche down low to DeFore. Back up to DeRoche. The shot, that's blocked off the shin pad. And Drapeau gets to it first. DeRoche back into the Sea Dog zone to Drapeau. His pass to center, and it's Lawrence in over the line. Lawrence down the far side, around the back of the goal. Lawrence still controlling. Lawrence cycles it in behind to DeFore. DeFore puts it out in front. Lawrence can't get to it. It lies loose there. It's still there. And it's gathered in by Gay, and he's out to center with Stairs. In over the line. Stairs with it. Feeds it through to Gay. Shot. That's off the shoulder of Urchebys. And then Gay goes flying into the boards. Drapeau behind the Sea Dog net. 12:47 remains in this third period. Islanders up 2-1. 2 goals in the second. The Sea Dogs have scored now. It's Stairs loose in front. Stairs gets his pocket picked at the last second, the former Sea Dog. At the line, kept in. Cormier, shot on goal, easily steered into the near corner by Urchebys. It's in behind the Sea Dog goal. Drapeau under pressure. Drapeau, long lead past the center. It's off the stick of Francis and gathered in by Elliott. To Cormier. He circles in front of his own net. Lowens, long pass picked off by Francis. He's got to wait, though, as Trenholm was trapped. Doesn't wait long enough. And the linesman blows the play dead. And the shovels come out.
Well, the pace of that first period has returned. I mean, the last several minutes is just the pace has quickened up. Everything has gotten more intense again. It's a nice look here in the third.
Yeah, definitely that power play goal for St. John. Poirier picking it up, his 12th of the season. Assist right now, only 1 assist showing to Josh Lawrence, who just continues to put on quite an offensive show this season. That'll give him 45 assists on the season. And momentarily it puts him in second place overall by himself. Coming into the game tonight, he was in a 4-way tie for league assists by a player. Faceoff will come just outside the Islander blue line. We're staring at 12:06 on the clock. Sea Dogs continue to lead on the shot clock. They've led all night, 28-24. Daou will take the draw against Budgel. Budgel wins it, and Maynard skates at the center and fires it high off the glass in behind the Sea Dog goal. 78 chops at it. Budgel gets to it. Francis pins him along the boards, far side, Sea Dog territory. Still along the boards, it's work free. Behind the net, it's Villeneuve for St. John. To Sevigny. Sevigny lead pass, and Francis gets a piece of it, but it rolls in behind the Charlottetown goal. It's picked up there and reversed to the near side. Maynard will get to it first, flipped high in the air, and Sevigny goes in after it, and they're ruling no icing. Around the boards, it's left to center ice, and then Sevigny was hit hard. Coming late, the pass is picked off by Budgel. He'll slide it out to center, and then Daou knocks it out of the air. Daou backhands it in deep. He's headed off for a line change along with his line mates. And over the boards comes the McDonald line with Bizot and Ansons. Puck behind the Charlottetown goal. Up the near boards. Horth to center. It's into Sea Dog territory. Heavy going along the boards. Gallant works it free. Then it's poked up to DeRoche. On to Bizot, who flips it in the air to center ice. Play broken up, and the puck is put back into the Sea Dog end. Poirier around the back of his net. Up the near boards to DeRoche. He banks to Bizot at center. Bizot's pass picked up by McDonald, who'll skate it into the Charlottetown zone. McDonald takes it wide. Goes back to the point to Poirier. Poirier walks the blue line. Poirier still with it. Puts the brakes on. Looks for something. Fires it towards the goal. It's up and over top of the net with Bizot in front with traffic. Out to center ice. LeBlanc for the Islanders. Slides it in deep behind the goal. LeBlanc and Trenholm going after. Puck work free. Gay chopped off his stick. Brabenich down the boards. Picard takes him away from the play. And out to center. Here comes Trenholm with Chandler. Chandler over the line. Chandler gets sandwiched. Puck is into the near corner. Trenholm knocks it up the boards. Along the boards, they battle for it. Chandler has to go off. He's lost his stick. And it's Gay to center ice. He'll fire it in on the one-hop bounce. Urtubise plays at the rebound. Another save as a quick blast off the stick of Stairs. And Sevigny begins up ice. Sevigny feeds it through to DeFore. Intercepted, and then Picard comes up with it. He'll skate it in. It'll go into LaPena, who'll knock it into the far corner. Puck bounces to the side of the net, and Lowen will go up the boards. Villeneuve keeps it in at the blue line. Villeneuve to DeFore. His shot towards the net. Traffic in front again, and it's gobbled up by Stairs, who banks it down the ice. Is that going to be icing? It looks like it is. And the Islanders don't like that very much. We're looking at 9:11 on the clock. Islanders leading 2-1. No scoring in the first, 2 goals in the second by the Islanders. The Sea Dogs have responded with a power play goal from Jeremy Poirier in this third period. That's how we've got to this 1-goal hockey game, which is not a surprise between these two teams.
And momentum is an incredible thing. It was the second period. It was mostly Charlottetown with hints from St. John, and now it seems to be the reverse now. St. John's pushing the play for most shifts, and then you get a hint of life from Charlottetown here and there.
Yeah, it certainly had that back and forth feel, which is, again, what we expected. We knew these two teams would play each other tough here tonight. Cormier gets the puck out to center ice. Dufour intercepts, and he'll backhand it down into the Charlottetown end. Forechecking is Lawrence. They go up the boards. Dufour keeps it in to Poirier. Poirier sends it down low to Lawrence. Lawrence checked off the puck, and the puck bounces around there, and then down low, here comes Dufour out of the corner. Dufour shot, a nice blocker save by LaPena. Down low once more to Lawrence. He puts it in. It goes off a skate and into the net, and then Poirier is mixing it up. And there's going to be penalties come out of this scrum, and it looks like Lowen and Poirier. And Lowen doesn't appreciate the headlock that Poirier put on him. He lost his helmet. And I suspect, Joe, it'll be offsetting penalties. Now we've got Budgel and Dufour. Budgel would love to get Dufour sucked into a penalty at the moment. And Dufour's going, hey, I'll send you one of my hockey cards. There goes Lowen and Poirier with 8:38 remain in this. Now, again, Budgel mixing it up with Dufour. And I like Dufour's reaction, Joe. Budgel just seemed to trying to get under Dufour's skin, and he's just sort of nonchalantly skating back to staying on task. As Dufour, the top goal scorer in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League, and the Sea Dogs need a goal. And they don't need Dufour in the penalty box.
Well, Dufour is used to the extra attention that's bound to happen as the leading goal scorer in the league, so it's nothing new to him.
Oh, that's for sure. 8:38 remains. Faceoff's coming just outside the Charlottetown blue line, just down below us. Some renovations going on here in the building. We'll get to that later. Cormier in front of his own goal. We're 4-on-4, so the ice has opened up a bit. Brabinich to center. He's in over the line, still with the puck. Brabinich, nice job. Then he falls to the ice. Francis gathers it in and begins up ice himself. He'll drop it back to Daou. Daou to center. Daou in over the line, still with it. Daou moves, and a nice save by LaPena. Daou on the backhand. Daou, high slot, leaves it for Villeneuve. He passes it to Francis. Francis still with the puck. Puts it across ice to Daou, and he has to go out of the zone. Sea Dogs elect to control the puck rather than try and keep it in. Here comes Francis with a burst of speed, and he's into the zone. Francis takes it wide, rolls it through. Rebound is picked up by Villeneuve, cycles it down, and it's picked off by Francis. High slot, Villeneuve, oh, a big left pad save by LaPena. In over the line, here comes Dufour, and that is blocked in front and out to center ice. Gay will slide the puck into the Sea Dog end. Villeneuve under pressure. Villeneuve His pocket picked by Gay. They battle it all the way to the far boards in Sea Dog territory. Sevigny circles back. Villeneuve leaves it for Sevigny. To Lawrence at center. Lawrence over the line. Takes it wide. He's stick checked. Lies loose, chopped free, and LeBlanc will get it up the boards to Gallant to the far side. He'll backhand it in deep. Sidesteps the check of Sevigny. You hear the ooh and ah of the crowd. Sevigny to center with the puck. In over the line. Sevigny to Lawrence. Far ice to Dufour. Dufour tries to feed it through. That's picked off, and then Lawrence battles it all the way to the far side and back to center ice. Come the Islanders. In over the line. Wide of the net, around the back of the goal. Late man coming, and it's picked off by Darash, and out of the penalty box, Poirier with a burst of speed. In over the line, Poirier still with it. Shot on goal into the midsection of LaPena as he had Dufour going in and loading up, and then the mandatory pushing and shoving behind the goal with 6:26 remaining in this third period. Islanders up 2-1. Now, just mentioning some renovations here in the building, Joe, in preparation for the Memorial Cup, and they started with the press box. We are in a temporary press box level. I'm not sure if it's actually temporary. It might actually be part of the added press that comes for the Memorial Cup, but they're gutting the press box up above us, and we are in a scaffolding situation in the seats in the upper bowl, and they've done a nice job. We've got a real good vantage point to watch the game. Playback underway, and it's Cormier. His long pass knocked out of the air nicely and in over the line. Say steered off the puck. The rush backhands it up to McDonald. He's got room, and he finds the stick of Poirier to center. Poirier loses the puck at the Charlottetown blue line. Back comes Say. Say bodied by Ansons. The rush up ice to Poirier. He steps over center, slides it in, loses the puck, and Trudeau cross ice to Plandowski. His attempt, and then Trenholm levels Trudeau. Fans love that. Back to center ice. Trudeau in over the line. Shot on goal. Urtubis juggled it, fought it off, and it's Daou around the back of the Sea Dog goal. To Darash. Darash loses a handle. High slot shot. That's blocked in front. And now we get pushed back from the Islanders. Francis is off the center ice. He backhands it up to Daou, and just offside at the Charlottetown blue line, and we are staring at 5 minutes and 19 seconds remaining on the clock. Sea Dogs trailing the Islanders 2-1.
What a hit by Connor Trenholm. Poor Oscar Plandowski had got the D-to-D pass as he was opening up to come up ice as Trenholm read it and just buried him. That's got to be the hit of the game.
Well, Connor Trenholm coming in from the Cape Breton Eagles, and you in sort of reading about the decision on trades, it was like the Cape Breton Eagles did not want to give up Connor Trenholm. They love the kid, one of the alternate captains on their team, but obviously the price was right, and they just sort of like, we've got to do it, but they hated to see him go, and certainly he has found a home here in St. John, and his style of play, I mean, he is quintessential St. John hockey player. Sort of put him together with Riley Bezo, and you got, and then let's throw Olivier Picard in for good measure. You wouldn't want to put three of those guys on the same line because it'd be kind of scary.
The Doom Squad.
Daou at center ice against Gallant. He wins the puck forward, and then it's chopped back to Villeneuve, who goes back to Sevigny. Sevigny logging lots of ice time in this third. Now the puck is fired around the glass to the far side. At the line, it's out to center. Horth fires it in far behind the Sea Dog goal. Villeneuve rides him in behind the net. Francis in to help out along the boards, and it's work free to Villeneuve. Back up to Daou. Daou, his lead pass, it's off the boards, and it's a foot race. Francis, good job of bashing in, and then they're going to rule that icing. Francis certainly emptying the tank, and he can't come off. So the Daou line has to stay out with 4:45 remaining in this third period.
Francis flipped the puck up to give to the linesman and wouldn't let go of it so he could get some extra time to breathe. The linesman was yanking on that puck, and Francis wouldn't let go of it.
Dow against Budgel. Budgel wins it back to Lowen. Point shot. Cormier got all of that. And it's off the blocker of Urchebys into the near corner. Villeneuve up to Francis. Francis long past the center. That's Trenholm. Trenholm blasting in. We've got a penalty coming, and it's going to go against Trenholm. And it's a high stick, I think, is a signal. And that is unfortunate, as Trenholm just simply aggressively chasing after the puck. Got his stick tangled up with Cormier. Fans booing, but it's a tough one to argue. It's a 2-minute minor up on the board. Face-off will come back into the Sea Dog territory. Lawrence on the ice with Ansons up front, and then Sevigny and Desroches, the defensive pair. Budgel wins the draw. Up to Cormier. Lowen down low. Babinich. He goes up to Lowen. He pushes it to the far side. Ansons goes in after Budgel. They battle it all the way to the far corner in the Sea Dog zone. Major tie-up. And it's Sevigny in, just burning up seconds on the clock and quite prepared to leave it in there. Work free by Gay. Comes in, shot, and a nice glove save by Urchebys as Gay worked the puck off the sideboards and got the shot away. 1:32 left in the Trenholm penalty. The Moosehead Light penalty kill. At work, Daou and Dufour over the boards. I'm not sure I'd seen that combination up front killing the penalty. Sevigny and Desroches stay out. Budgel once more on the draw. Daou wins it. It's rimmed around the boards, and Lowen can't keep it in. Nice job by Philippe Daou, the Ottawa Senators prospect who just recently signed the entry-level deal with the Senators. Puck at center ice. Rabinich follows up, skates it into the Sea Dog zone. It's left high. Here comes Gay coming down high slot, puts it down low, slides it wide of the net. Pinching in is Cormier. Sevigny works it free, up the boards, and then here comes Dufour. He's got Daou coming. It's a 2-on-1. Here comes Dufour. Daou scores! Oh, Francisco LaPena had big problems to deal with on the 2-on-1. He couldn't cheat on Dufour. Dufour, a tremendous pass to Philippe Daou. It's a short-handed goal for the St. John Sea Dogs to tie this one at 2.
I wasn't going to bring it up, but William Dufour's been held off the score sheet 4 times in his 43rd game of the season. Again, wasn't going to mention that, but I feel comfortable mentioning it now. It remains at 4 on the season.
That's Philippe Daou's 12th goal of the season. And the Sea Dogs have tied the hockey game shorthanded. That's their 11th shorthanded goal of the season. Puck is dumped in behind the Sea Dog net. It lies loose. It's worked free up the near boards. Nice move by Elliott. Up high, shot. That sails over top of the goal. Knocked down at the line. Kept in Plandowski. Down low. Along the boards. It's cleared the length of the ice by Sevigny as Ansons and Trudeau tie up. 20 seconds left in the Charlottetown power play. Plandowski behind the Islander goal. Up ice, 11 seconds left in their man advantage. The center. It's slid in deep by Horth. Villeneuve will elect to just leave it in his skates to burn seconds. The teams are back to even strength. 2:27 remains in the third period. They blow the play down as Trenholm couldn't get into the play. But the Sea Dogs have come back in this third period. They trailed 2-0 coming into the third. And it's been back-to-back Sea Dogs. A power play goal and a short-handed goal to tie the hockey game with 2:26 remaining in this third period.
Nothing like a short-handed game-tying goal to get some life back in the building, that's for sure.
Yes, there was definitely some jump in the building, and It's a real good crowd here tonight. It feels good. The building, when TD Station fills up, boy, it starts to really jump. Now here comes Daou again, the goal scorer, in over the line. It's feathered through. LaPena steers into the near corner. Up the boards, Gay finds the stick of Trudeau. He's into Sea Dog territory. Trudeau takes it wide, puts the brakes on, looks for support, back to the point. Fake shot, the blast doesn't get through as it goes off a stick into the near corner. Along the boards, it's worked free. Babinich, and it's out to center ice. Trudeau back to his own blue line. 1:50 left in this third period. It goes the length of the ice, and it is still in play. Lawrence comes up with the loose puck, skates it to his own blue line. On to Burns at center. Long lead to DeFore. DeFore coming. Finds Burns. Scores! Who else? Brady Burns. With 1:34 left in the third period. It's Brady Burns. His 18th of the season. Well, you knew you couldn't keep that line off the board for very long, and just a real nice three-way passing play by Lawrence, Burns, and Dufour. And the Sea Dogs have taken the lead for the first time in the hockey game with only 1:34 left. So keep an eye on Francisco LaPena in goal for Charlottetown. McDonald at center ice. He wins it back. It's going to roll all the way down behind the Sea Dog goal. DeRoche. He banks it off the boards to Sevigny, up to Ansons, who flips it high in the air to center ice. It bounces in over the line into Charlottetown territory. Forth overskates it. It's into the far corner. Lowen gets there first, goes up the boards. It's knocked down by Sevigny. He'll fire it back in behind the Charlottetown goal. Horth out to center ice. 1:05 left. Bizo banks it high in the air. It bounces. Lowen knocks it down. Under a minute left. Babinich to center ice. Babinich to Cormier. The net is empty. The extra skater on, and it's gloved by Urtubise as Cormier fires the low shot. Urtubise catching it about 6 inches off the ice and hangs on for the faceoff. Now the nail biting with 50.8 seconds left, and I believe Jim Holton has called the timeout.
Well, for the first time in 59 minutes of gameplay, you see a frustrated Francesco LaPena on the bench, banging his blocker, not happy with the Burns goal.
Well, it was just a tremendous, it's been a tremendous third period for St. John. And, you know, the second period, it was so close in that first period, no scoring after 20 minutes. And then the Islanders seemed to sort of take command of the game early. They popped those 2 goals, Sea Dogs trailing. There was some life late in that second period. They weren't able to score in that 5-on-3 opportunity in the second period. But full marks to St. John. They have stayed on task. They still got some work to do here with the net empty at the Charlottetown end. 6 skaters on the ice for the Islanders. Lawrence is out to take the draw. He's got Ansons, Bizo, Villeneuve, Sevigny, and Lawrence wins the draw. It's rimmed around the boards, kept in at the line, shot, knocked down in front. It's flipped high in the air. It's going to bounce. And is it going to go? It's going to be icing. For a moment there, it looked like it might bounce and bank towards the empty net. And we're staring at 40 seconds on the big clock at TD Station. Lawrence once more against Budgell. And now Lawrence gets the warning. Here we go. Budgell wins it back to the point. Kept in, shot, knocked down in front by Sevigny. Still loose in front, up in the air. They score. With 32.1 seconds left, the Islanders, in the dying seconds of the third, have tied this hockey game at 3.
An interesting play. Budgell lost that first faceoff to Lawrence. They subbed in Brabinich, and Budgell came in just off his backhand side. That's exactly where Brabinich wanted to start that sequence.
Sevigny had knocked the puck down in front of the goal, used his body, and then it lay loose, and it just seemed to be no one on the Sea Dogs able to clear it from in front of the goal. And the Islanders just another ugly jam play up and over Urtubise. And this game is tied. Face off at center ice. Daou against Brabanic in their skates, still in their skates. And finally it's worked free. Villeneuve flips it in the air down into the Charlottetown territory with 22 seconds remaining. It's high in the air, knocked down by Trenholm at the line, and now offside. And we are staring at a real possibility of overtime with 15.3 seconds left, and we are tied at 3. Daou wins the draw. He goes back cross ice to Sevigny. He'll fire it in deep. 9 seconds left in the third. Near corner Charlottetown territory. Looks like both teams are going to settle for overtime. Still in there, and then finally the horn goes. A chance for a bit of a short recharge, and then suddenly that ice opens up big time with 3-on-3 hockey with that 5-minute format in overtime.
We'll talk about a juggernaut of firepower on both sides. You could just pick your poison for either team as far as the 3 offensive weapons you're going to put out there on both offense and defense.
Yeah, I don't envy either coach as to what is your combinations that you put out. Do you put out 3 guns and go for broke? Do you put out 2 guns and a defenseman who's got guns but also a defensive side to his game? And of course, if it's not solved in the first minute, you've still got some other decisions to make as the overtime continues. But certainly in overtime, it is a real chess match. It's just simply it looks like 3 one-on-ones all over the ice, and we've got a lot of skill on the ice right now as we head for 3-on-3. Urtubise will take the goal to our right. LaPena defending to our left. And over the boards, well, that's not a bad lineup. Dufour, Daou, Sevigny. Here we go. And they're going to be facing, not surprised, Babinich, Gay, and Cormier. So, well, that is some talent on the ice. Play underway. The draw is won by Charlottetown. Cormier circles back into his own zone and begins up ice. Lucas Cormier in over the blue line, still with the puck. It's dropped off to Gay. Takes it wide. Gay around the back of the goal. Gay, tight turn, still with it, drops it off. Now the loose puck. Now the breakaway is Dufour. Here comes Dufour walking. Oh, and it's stopped by LaPena as he elected to shoot the puck. Sevigny back up to Dufour, in over the line. Dufour with a couple moves. Daou, he falls to the ice. Look out, here come numbers back to center. Babinich, he's got Gay coming. Correct that, that's Cormier. Feeds it through. Oh, Urtubise with a tremendous stop. And now it's a 2-on-1. Lawrence and Sevigny. Sevigny scores!
Can you script that one any better?
Vincent Sevigny, the new captain for the St. John Sea Dogs, wins it in overtime. And what's the budget for sticks with the Charlottetown Islanders as they're snapping them off crossbars and boards? What a hockey game here at TD Station. The fans got their money's worth and more here tonight. There's a buzz in this building as the Sea Dogs soak this one up. And the Sea Dogs 8-game winning streak continues. We'll take a break and put a big bow on this one. You're listening to Sea Dogs Radio, presented by TD on 93 CFBC.
117. 37.